Hey guys, put in, just wanted to get myself together, get myself started. Let me put in my microphone. Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's series for Black History Month. I'm going to be featuring a new African American artist all month long. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do Martin Luther King step by step. This is part 2. If you guys haven't got a chance, go ahead and check out part 1. That part is already up on my channel, so you can definitely catch that. That was from yesterday's vibes. Today we're going to be finishing up part 2, and it's going to be super awesome. If you guys are new around here, welcome. My name is Danielle. I am the artist behind Creative Girl of Color, and I'm so glad you guys can join me. So as you can see, I pretty much did a lot of work yesterday. I have all of my materials laid out, all of my brushes. I have a different variety of different brushes that I have available. I actually have my acrylic glazing liquid today, guys. Like, that's super dope, super exciting. Yes, 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 and yes. Who's loving it? Let me bring the camera down a little bit. There you go. Okay, so I'm ready to go, so let me get started. All the materials that I'm using are down in the description box below, as well as a lot of helpful product links to some of the products that I'm using. I'm using pure acrylics today. This is a good tutorial for beginners and intermediate, advanced artists, especially if you are interested in realism. You're interested in learning the ways of realism and how to get realistic portraits with skin tones. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. During the month, I am going to be pretty much, like, I'm not going to be on a regular schedule. I'm going to be doing a plethora of different things on the schedule. So all month long, I'm not going to be on a regular schedule. It's going to be pretty much me putting up live videos all month long so I can feature different influential African American artists, poets, musicians. Sunday, make sure you guys tune in because I'm going to be on Sunday afternoon, and I am going to be featuring a African American artist from the 1800s, Blast from the Past. It's going to be super dope. I'm mad excited about it. Now, if you like this sort of content, you're really interested in this, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell for all notifications. If you're interested in learning how to do realistic portraits in oils, most of my oil tutorials will be over on my Patreon. So you guys can check my Patreon out. That's down in the description box below. You can use any acrylics you want to use for this particular tutorial. So feel free, flow free. You could even use craft paint if you guys feel like you want to use craft paint. Okay, so as you can see, I have all these different brushes. And, just so I can have access to different types of brushes. I have little brushes and small brushes, flat brushes, filberts. Filberts and flats are my favorite type of brushes, but you can use anything you want for this particular tutorial. If you guys decide to attempt this tutorial, be sure to tag me on Instagram so I can see it, so I can love it, like it, save this to your favorites so that you guys, because it's going to be pretty long tonight, so make sure you get some tea, coffee, water, whatever it is. because this is going to be a pretty long tutorial again, yes. And you can always go back and refer to it. Again, I'm still using my open acrylics because that's good for blending. I actually have my acrylic glazing liquid tonight, which was a blessing in disguise. I actually have my palette. I'm going to put out my colors while I chat it up with you guys. It's pretty much going to be the same colors. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, magenta. You can use quinacridone magenta or regular magenta. In this case, I'm also using ultramarine blue as well as Naples yellow and titanium white and unbleached titanium. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just putting out colors. Colors. I don't know why I was gotta sing that song every time I say that. It's like so funny. It's so funny. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. And it has been a wonderful stress-free day for you guys. I'm hoping and wishing for that, because I know a lot of people around the country are not doing well. And it's a lot going on in our country, so this would be a good time to kind of decompress, not think about everything that's happening in your world right now. If you happen to be one of those people that's affected by everything that's happening with our government in the U.S. So I'm just putting out paints. And of course, I didn't want to put out my paints before I got on, because now hopefully tonight is a better view, because yesterday I was having issues with my live and getting on. So hopefully you guys have a better view today. I went ahead and did the wide angle thing. I'm still trying to get used to the lives on YouTube. So I'm so glad. Oh my God. If you were one of the guys, you were one of the viewers that kind of hung with me yesterday, you really hung in there. I mean, some of you were here for like 2 hours last night. You are absolutely a superstar. I really appreciate all the love and support. You don't know how much that means for me. It means everything. Oh, I forgot. I'm actually using some gold paint tonight. If I didn't show you, here's my gold paint. I absolutely love this gold paint. But you can get any gold paint from anywhere. I'm going to use that actually for the frame that goes around his portrait. But you can use any gold paint you want to use. It really doesn't matter. You can also go back and watch this in the replay, so you can save it to your watch later videos or to a playlist of your favorites. You can favorite me. Yeah, so I love that gold paint. But I know like a really good brand of acrylics is Holbein. Holbein has a really pretty kind of gold paint that I really, really like. And I really enjoyed that gold paint. I don't know what I did with okay, here it is. Here's my Naples yellow. That is more like a cool yellow. So I gotta put some of that out. And of course, I had to wait. I'm gonna spray my palette. Spray it, get its life together so it doesn't dry up on me, especially when you're dealing with the heavy body paints. Heavy body paints is a thicker consistency, so those will dry up real quick and you will be totally miserable. Like, why is my paint so dry? Alright, and of course I have my rag, so you guys can get a paper towel, rag, whatever you want to do, and put that to the side. Okay, so here's my palette. I don't think I put this palette down in the description box below. So hopefully you guys can follow along. I'm going to actually get out my palette knife and I'm going to mix these colors. Matter of fact, let me move this so I could have access to everything and I'm not bumping my camera. Oh, my glazing liquid. If you guys are not familiar with glazing liquid, I absolutely love this product. I actually did not link this down below. I will if you guys are interested in it. This is an absolute beautiful product. I think it's the only one that's really on the market that is good for glazing as well as blending. It is absolutely awesome. It is by Golden. Now, there's other people that make this type of product, like Liquitex, that brand, they make a glazing liquid. But beware, like their glazing, when I first started, I bought that glazing liquid and it actually speeds up the drying time of acrylic. Like that's possible, like really. But unfortunately it does, so you got to be really careful. Versus this one actually glazes, it helps you with blending. It also is like a medium, so it doesn't break down the film or the protective polymers in your paint. So it's absolutely a beautiful product. And I got gloss, but I think it comes in satin or satin silk, whatever it is. Okay, so let's get to it. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of that out. Now it looks white, but it really isn't white. Okay, so don't get fooled by that. It's a clear glazing liquid. I'm actually gonna get some white out on my palette too. I feel like I want a little bit of white. Here's my white. It's by Winsor & Newton. I think you would have to get these at specialty stores though. I don't think you can get this at like a Michael's. They don't carry that sort of stuff. Now this is a brown tear palette, I think it is. Brown tear palette. I don't know. I'll put it down in the description box when the live is over, but it's a live tear palette. So I sprayed everything, put my glazing liquid out. Again, let me reiterate. This is a beautiful 8x10 oval cotton duck canvas by Frederick. Let me show you. Here's the a new one that I haven't opened yet, because I'm going to use this for next week's project, which you should be super excited about if you enjoy Black History Facts and Black History Month. So this is a Fredericks. This is a really good brand. I really like it. What I did is kind of shave down. I took some sandpaper and I sanded down the first layer of acrylic gesso that they put on, acrylic prime that they usually put on these canvases, because I found this to be kind of really rough and I didn't like that, so I really shaved it down a little bit, because I found when I have a rough surface it's harder to deal with, especially when it comes to portraits where you want things to be more soft and clear, right? Alright, so let me mix. I'm going to do that same mixture here, right? And I'm going to get my space. I got my handy dandy palette knife. Again, we need different values. So I'm going to reiterate. I'm going to do 50% burnt umber, 50% burnt sienna. Okay. And this is the golden open. I'm put a little more burnt sienna because I want different values. He has like a brown skin. Now you would have to alter these mixes according to your own specific taste. This is just my recipe and this is how I like to do skin tones. but you would have to alter these recipes based off of your own personal taste. And if you're doing a commission, depending on the person. So that's how you would alter these things. Yes, 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 and yes. And I'm gonna get a little bit of, all right, a little bit of, probably like 20% yellow ochre, which that's gonna pretty much lighten that value way on up. Yeah, but that's okay because I want ooh, look at that. That's trying to dry on the palette already. I kind of want this to be light because again I want different values. So I want like a light brown type of thing. I'm adding a little more burnt umber. So like I was saying, you got to adjust these things according to your project. You could even use these same techniques if you're doing something like a, you know, surreal type of project. And you want to mix these things thoroughly. So I think that should be good. Oh, I forgot my magenta. You got to add magenta. Now, like I was saying yesterday, magenta is really strong. So you want to be careful how much magenta you add. You only want to add about 5% magenta to your master mix. You really don't want to get out of hand with that. So add a little magenta just to kind of love it up, warm it up. Okay, and now I want a darker tone. So I'm not cleaning off my palette knife. Coming right on over here. I'm going to get some of this mix that I already mixed. Right? Now I want a little ultramarine. So let me kind of get into that. If I can open that. Whew. If I can open it, right? I'll get into that. And then I'm still going to spray my palette at the same time. I got to spray that because I need these to not dry up on me. I don't need that. Nobody needs dry paint in their life. That's not going to help me out. So that's kind of the key with this. Okay. I'm adding a very little bit of ultramarine blue to my skin tone because I need this to be darker, like a darker shadow. Why am I only adding this very little bit? Is because this blue is actually going to give me like a chromatic black, like a, you know, it's going to look dark, but it really isn't. And once I add that blue, it's going to darken up a lot. And I don't really want no dark, dark, dark. I just want to darken it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you mix everything thoroughly. And you want to add things slowly. Because you add too much. Yeah, so usually, I mean, if you guys have children at home, you would definitely understand, but it will be some sound effects going on in the background. Sound effects, conversation, people just living their lives, pretty much. Okay, so I think I got a pretty much a darker tone that I feel like is sufficient, I think. I could always add more ultramarine if I feel like I need a little more ultramarine, right? And I'm going to go right back into my burnt umber, because I want another pile. I'm going to put it in a separate pile. And in this case, I'm going to use quite a bit of magenta. Now, this is student grade magenta, so this magenta is not going to be like super duper strong like a regular quinacridone magenta, like by Golden or Holbein or whatever, right? So you're not going to get that same value like that. And I'm going back into my a little bit of yellow ochre. So here's kind of my master mixes. This is what I'm going to use the basis for most of my mixes, right? Now, what I was saying yesterday um, about this color right here, what I was saying about that, right? I was saying that unbleached titanium is a good alternative to just adding white to lighten your colors. You could either add unbleached titanium, or you could add a yellow ochre to your colors, your skin tones, to kind of lighten and brighten colors, versus you adding a white. You would never really add white to African American skin tones. That's not something that most people do. You could add a zinc white, which in that case, a zinc white is, you know, it's a good mixing color. It doesn't actually blow your colors all the way out. I'm live. Whew. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit of unbleached titanium to a little. I'm gonna add a little bit of that to each little thing to kind of give me a lighter tone. See, now that gives me a little bit of a rosy tone, this unbleached titanium. Now you see how that doesn't blow out my color, which that's not what I want. I don't want a color that's blown out. I really don't. So I'm only going to add a little bit of unbleached to each mixture, yeah? So that I know I have a lighter kind of tone. And just in case I need it. And you see how that gives it like a somewhat of a good milky consistency, where you kind of lighten your tone. It's a gentle way of lightening your tone without kind of getting out of hand with it. And you definitely got to have one that's just straight up now. This is a light yellow right here. I'm gonna add a little bit of burnt sienna to that, and also a little bit of this master mix right here. And see, now I have like a yellowish tone right there. So this is what you really need. You know, the key to realism, especially in acrylics, is lots of layers, lots of variation in color, and that's whether you're using acrylics and or oil or watercolor. You want to put, make sure you have variation. That's very important. That's the key to making things kind of look the way you want them to look. Okay, so let me put that to the side. Now that I have my mixes going, I'm kind of happy about that. Let me wipe off my palette knife. I don't know what is going on. Damn, Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy. I don't know, I'm having like random conversations. Oh, yesterday I pulled out my little teeny tiny brush. I'm using my little teeny tiny brush. I really love this brush. I don't know if you guys can see it, but them bristles are like really teeny tiny. And this is kind of what you need. I kind of bought this brush from the brush guys, and I'm really digging it. It's really cute. It has like a plastic handle, which is good, especially if you kind of leave it in the water. I don't know what happened to my, what's the name? That's weird. That is real weird. Okay, but you can use any teeny tiny one. I'm going to use this for like hairs and eyelashes, I was about to say eye bulbs. Eyeballs. Okay. Eyeballs. All right. All right, so I got my my water in front of me. Let me get that wet and get it together. I'm going to spray my palette again, just to make sure my mixes don't dry up on me. It's good to kind of mix them in a pile. That way they don't get crazy and want to dry up. But you got to be careful. You don't want to douse it with like massive amounts of water, because if you do that, you're going to have a lot of issues. Okay? Let me actually put out, he's looking a little dusty, huh? Now this canvas, for some reason, it has a rougher texture than the normal canvas that I've used. So you want to look out for that. And also refer to your reference picture again from yesterday. You can use any reference picture you feel like you want to use. Because at this point I feel good, okay, letting you guys know that. And it's not that big of a deal. Let me put this up so I can see it. Okay, so let me do a little bit of his lips. I'm going to try to get the lips in, then I'm going to work on the nose. The nose takes quite a bit. Well, to me it does. Let me get a little bit of my glazing liquid just to prep my brush so I can get smoothness going on. Real smooth. Yeah. Now I'm going to use a little bit of burnt umber for his top lip, because as we know, your top lips, especially in African American people, tend to be a lot darker than your bottom lip. And I feel like I want to get a little magenta too, just to kind of warm it up, so it's not straight up whatever. I feel like I gotta have a little something going on. Hopefully you guys, yesterday I did, I'm just following the contour of his lip. Yesterday I did the hair, just in case you guys missed it. Okay, this top lip here. I'm just looking at the reference photo as I talk to you guys. His top lip. I'm going to go a little bit darker because I don't feel like this is dark enough. don't feel like it's dark enough. And of course, I have my glazing liquid. I'm kind of just following the contours of what I see on the reference photo. And this is just the blocking stage, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Hey guys, just in case you're tuning in, how are you? Hopefully, let me know that you can see me and hear me good. Okay, so you want to follow you definitely want to follow your reference photo. Especially when you're dealing with realism. Let me just log in so I can see what you guys are saying. I really enjoyed doing the hair yesterday. Like, in case you guys missed it, that was like a fun thing. And a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people have issues with African American hair, getting like that whole texture in, trying to figure it out. Like, people have really a lot of issues with it. Okay, so I can see what you guys are saying, which is wonderful. Hey, Corinne, what's going on? Hey, girl. A little late, but no, that's okay. You late. My child is currently banging on the wall. Yes, so you prefer, yes, I prefer to use ultramarine for skin tones versus phthalo. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't mess with the phthalo, baby. You know why? I don't use phthalo for skin tones because phthalo is a man-made color, and phthalo is not soft enough for skin tones for me. I mean, I don't know. Some people may do it. But for me, and most people usually, like portrait artists, straight up portrait artists, usually don't use phthalo. Because phthalo is a little bit too warm. It's a little bit too bright. Now, mostly what I use phthalo for is for he has like a little indent right here. Mostly what I would use phthalo for is for skies, water. You know, if I want like a really electric blue type of thing, you know, fish, sea life, skies and things like that, clouds. I would never use a phthalo for like ultramarine. That should be a staple in most artists like palette. I'm washing off my brush, guys. That should be a staple in most people's palette. Like, definitely that should be. Um, you guys should never really use. Now, I mean, I try not to say should never because, you know, we're artists, so you can get away with a lot. You definitely can. But, definitely it's not something I would recommend. Let's say that. I wouldn't recommend it. Because I never want to tell people, oh, no, you shouldn't use that. Because, like, who am I to tell you that? Like, no. Mm-hmm. It does have crazy tint and shrink. Yes. Yes, it has crazy tint and shrink. I can't. Like I would never do that now. I love to use phthalo in my back in my skies and stuff like that. I love to use it like if I'm doing like a dress or, you know, a vase or something like that. Like here in this particular, I have a picture in front of me where I used phthalo. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I used phthalo in her dress, right? I used phthalo on her dress, and you see how it's electric blue. It's like really light. It's really bright. It's really vibrant. You know, that's something you would definitely use a phthalo blue for, because you want to bring your subject. Ooh, sorry guys. If you want to bring your subject forward, see everything want to fall over and look crazy. But anyway, you want to bring your subject forward. You would definitely use a phthalo blue. But what I will say is that some people that do like surrealism, they don't really do like regular, normal, run of the mill skin tones. I'm still gonna get into painting, guys, while I'm talking. I'm a talking paint. What I will say is that some people will, like I know an artist, she does strictly, she does strictly like blue skin tones. He has a lot of red in his lip. So I'm kind of trying to get this red in, and my brush has a little bit too much on it. So I'm going to kind of take some of that value back. I'm kind of just glazing things on at this point. And with this canvas, it will dry up pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. So this is like my reddish value that I had on my palette. Yeah, but I know it's an artist that I follow and on Instagram, and she's really dope. And she does nothing but like blue people. You know, she's all about the blue. She love her some blue people. Yeah. So because of that, a lot of her stuff, I'm getting this like dark tone underneath his lip. Especially with African American people, you'll see a lot of dark tones in our lips. Possible discoloration sometimes. And the good thing, since I have this glazing liquid on my brush, I need to go like over. I feel like his lips is over. You should definitely be following. You could always alter things in your reference photo. Don't ever feel like you kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she uses a lot of blue, and I'm sure she uses a lot of phthalo blue. Matter of fact, she was saying the other day that some of her favorite colors are blue. Yes. What did you say? I may pick up some ultramarine just for skin, because otherwise I don't like how it mixes. I feel like it muddles mixes. Yes, definitely. So, ultramarine blue is really, if you look up the history of ultramarine blue, even, you know, of course, oils and stuff like that was kind of the first things. I'm adding some glazing liquid. You see how that glazing liquid kind of smooths things out. Everything looks real glossy, like his lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is popping. Right? So, ultramarine blue is actually a very old color. Okay? It is the first colors that came out. Phthalo blue was actually invented, you know, in the 21st century versus ultramarine, yellow ochre, not cadmium. It's alizarin crimson was the original red. And back in the day, only very rich artists could afford ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and yellow ochre. Matter of fact, most people made their own pigments, and you can only find like um, yellow ochre. So yellow ochre, that's why I really love yellow ochre. Why? Because yellow ochre is dope. Okay, yellow ochre is a dope color. It really is. Why is yellow ochre dope? Because yellow ochre. I'm gonna give you my little spiel about yellow ochre. People think it's just a regular color, but don't be sleeping on yellow ochre. You can mix it in anything. It's good for landscapes, skin tones, the beach, blonde hair. Like, come on now. You can put that thing across all mediums pretty much, and it goes across all mediums. You know, from watercolor, pan pastels, oil paint, because it's the oldest paint known to man. And you can do anything you want. Like, I mean, if you want to do blonde hair, just mix up some yellow ochre and some white, and bam, you got blonde hair right there. You know, I'm really surprised as to why a lot of people I know don't really have um, yellow ochre. It's weird. I mean, not yellow ochre, ultramarine blue. I'm really, you guys in the comments, tell me. Inquiring minds would love to know. I would love to know as to why, um, a lot of people do not have do not have ultramarine blue. I would love to know it. Tell me. Because you're not the first person I heard about that. There was somebody else that was telling me about that. Look how good that blends now that I put that glazing liquid on there. Yeah, buddy. Before, it wasn't blending. It was doing some other mess. I don't know what was going on. And I think it depends on what type of canvas you got, too. Because that was not working at all. Okay, so now that I'm going to let that dry. That's pretty much, I'm just going to lay that down on his lips. Let it dry, marinate, get his life together. And now with glazing liquid, glazing liquids takes, it gives you more time to work as well with the glazing liquid. All right, so let's work on his nose. I'm gonna kind of jump around. And last night I was telling you guys that it's good if you take your time, and if you get to like the 3 or 4 hour mark in your painting, to go ahead and take a break. Because at that point, sometimes you get like the artist curse, where you start looking at things from a weird perspective, and you're like, oh my god, like, you know, heads start looking the same, you know, things start getting crazy, and you don't know which way is which. That's when things start getting skewed. So that's your time, that's your cue, especially when you're doing a portrait. That's your cue. Go ahead and take a break. You know, because all you do, like for me, I know when I'm getting tired, because then I'll start fiddling around with the same spot for like 20 minutes. It be like the same spot for 20 minutes. Like, why? So what do you guys think? In the comments, tell me, what do you guys think about the orientation of the camera tonight and the lighting? Because I kind of moved things around last night, because I was looking at last night's video on Ponder Replay, and I was like, I don't like how that look. So You guys tell me, does it look better? You feeling better about how it's looking now? Alright, so I'm going to lose my little brush so I can get, like, into the nose. You can pick this up anywhere. This is a number 2 detail. I actually got it from Michael's. You know, their brushes is okay. I don't really like their brushes like that, but they alright. They alright. His little brush, they gotta get in formation. What is going on? Alrighty then. Alright, so let me get into the nostrils. Now, the nostrils are set up in a weird way, right? Because the nose underneath has all these different areas, has all these different bones. It's not even really bones, it's like cartilage, right? You have all this cartilage in the nose, so you're going to have all these different pieces, all these different things going on with the nostrils. Yes, thank you so much, Corinne. Yes. You like this camera angle better? Yes, me too. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, when you get on and you get on a live, it be doing what it want to do. It be going haywire. It be a lot going on. Okay, so the nostrils, I've already applied my shadow and all that underneath there. So I'm just going to go based off of my reference photo. And I'm going to, he has some shadow right on the side here in his nose. So I'm going to get into that because right up here, let me bring it up a little bit. Even that's a little bit too dark for me. I don't want it to be too dark. So his nose, and it doesn't matter if you lay down too dark of a value because you can always go back in. That's the beauty of acrylics, as I said yesterday. And this is kind of glossy, so which is great. Now this side of his face seems to be in shadow. So I'm going to apply some shadow in this side of his face. And tonight, you guys, I'm actually prepared, okay? Why am I prepared? Because I actually brought my little, what's her name, with me. And he has like a little indent. So I got to get that little indent going. You want to go in the direction of the nose and stuff like that, right? So he has a shadow over there. So I'm putting my little mid-tone shadow over there. Remember, we don't want things to dry up on us. So I put my brush in some water to let it marinate while I figure out how I'm going to blend this out. And since I got a acrylic glazing liquid on here already, should be a lot easier to kind of blend out and get together. So I'm just going to dab. I've already wet this. This is my blending brush. I love this brush. You know, it's a lifesaver. Absolutely love that brush. And I'm going to blend that out. See, I'm blending that out right there. Now, I'm blending that out because I actually don't want, I don't want it to dry up on me before I can actually blend it. And now I'm going to take, because he has a major highlight right there. So I'm getting into my, I'm going to take the same blender. And I'm going to go right up on it. And this is going to be probably my brightest highlight. No, that's not actually my brightest highlight. That's a highlight. What I was telling you guys about a regular highlight. And then there's like a brighter highlight. Pretty much. Now I'm just blending these two together. And again, like I said before, portraiture is a slow process. It's not a race. There's definitely not a race. So take your time. I actually want to go a little bit. I'm going with a different value because I kind of feel like this is a little too red for me. But maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's see what it is. Yeah, you want to think about your reference photo too. Think about where's the shadows, where's the little nuances. That's kind of the key to realism. So right now he looked like Snuffleupagus, but we're gonna get it together. Not today, Satan, not today. I'm kind of tilting this up a little bit because I need to be able to see it from my point of view. If you guys have something you want to see for next week, you want a certain influential person featured, shoot me a message. Put it down in the comments below. Put it in the comments. Okay, he has like a dark shadow right here. wiping with my brush. Just applying different values here. Blending things out. You got something on the side here. Good thing about this blender brush is you can blend a lot out with this. You can blend a lot out with that. Sorry, guys. Let me, wake me up before. Oh, let me not sing for, YouTube be like, no, you not singing right now. I'm gonna put my, phone on the charger. So put him on the charger. I'm just plugging things in, plugging you guys in so you don't get lost in the sauce here. All right, so I'm still working on the nose. All right, so we have some yellow going on right here. Yeah, some yellow highlight, kind of like on the outer nose right here. I'm using my regular water brush, which, you know, water brush, if you guys are familiar with it, is actually for watercolors. But I be using it. Like, I don't use watercolors like that, but I be using it though for my other stuff. I'm adding some unbleached titanium to my mix because this is not light enough for me. I need it to be a lot lighter. And remember, even if you go a lot lighter with something, that's actually going to end up the same value as what I already have. Even if you go a lot lighter with something, I may even have to add some white to this. This is not light enough, peeps. Not light enough. You can actually remember what we said, if you go a lot lighter, that's fine when you're dealing with acrylics, because acrylics dry darker. I'm actually putting a little bit of highlight, putting that highlight back on his nose. And the good thing about this brush, it has water in it already, so I don't even have to really worry too much because it has water on it already. So that's wonderful. It's wonderful. And I can actually use the same brush to kind of blend this out too, since it already has water on it. Remember, now if you get something, say you get a value and you're not feeling that value, like you don't like it, it looks ugly or whatever, right? You can always go back in, because it is acrylics. You can go back in and do something else. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't kind of freak out and be like, oh my god. You know, I know it's scary because a lot of people freak out. They're like, oh no, that looks like crap. Da 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 da. Okay, so his nostril kind of goes like in a swoop. Swoop it. Swoop it, love it. And since it goes in a swoop, right? This is usually where people, you know, they decide, oh, bam, I'm not going to be bothered with it because you get to this point and you feel overwhelmed, like it's too many things, it's too many things to think about and remember and da 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 da, right? I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I'm filling in things as I see it. As I see it needs to be filled in. So you kind of get to that point and then you give up. Now, when you give up, when it gets hard, that's when you getting ready to make a breakthrough. I know people will say that all the time, but it's true. When things get hard and it's looking hard and it's looking terrible, that's when it's time for you to stick it out and keep going. I'm adding a darker tone here because he has somewhat of an indent, right? I mean, everybody has this indent, but some people's are more, I want to say, more apparent than others. That's what I want to say about it. That's what I want to say. Right? Now, don't worry if it looks terrible. Just keep adding layers. Keep adding layers so you can't add no more layers and then you get tired of it. Now, remember, there's different planes to the nose, right? So, the top of your nostrils is going to be a different value versus the middle of the nostril, the bottom of the nostril, near the nasal canal and stuff like that. So you got to think about that. That's still going to be, that's 3 different values just in that one little space, right? So I'm going to put the little bitty, right? But so, and then, you know, those little values make a difference. I'm going to put a little bitty kind of different value right here. Because he has like something that's kind of swoops down. And that shadow even goes up a little bit. Like even up here a little bit. Right? And you can see is that nostril starting to form. And then we have a little bit here. That nose is going to go down. And right about here, we have something right about here. Which this is the bottom of the nose. So the bottom right there is going to be quite dark as well. But it kind of looks like the side of it. So I think I want to fix that. You want to just keep adding until you can't add anymore. Just keep going. So I'm going to go with a little darker. You know, like I was saying yesterday, it's like a... take my finger and actually rub some of that out. Rub it out. Because even that is a little bit too dark for my taste. Alright, let me wash up this brush because I need to get a different value. Even though it's a water brush, you still can wash it out in the Western. And I kind of want to blend out as I wash it out. And under here, it's mostly in shadow. Now, when you guys are kind of dealing with things, you're dealing with, underneath his nose has a mysterious highlight. When you're dealing with commissions, you're dealing with, like, if somebody asks you to do a portrait, or actually go up under here, because there's a highlight under his nose, which is not usually typical, but it is a highlight nonetheless. And it goes right about here. Now, when you're dealing with portraits, as a portrait artist, sorry, did we kind of blank out there? Yeah, we did. We did blank out. I don't know why I did that. I could have swore it was charging. Okay, so anyway, as a portrait artist, when you are kind of dealing with commissions and all of that jazz, you want to make sure that you tell your clients, like, I mean, unless you're dealing with hyperrealism, it is a portrait, it is a painting. You're never going to get a full likeness. You know, the whole point of art is to be a representative of life. And you need to let your clients know that. I mean, unless you're into hyperrealism where, yeah, you should be expected to do that type of thing pretty much. But for the most part, no. That takes the fun out of doing art when you gotta worry about, like, stuff like that. Like, am I doing the best I can? You know, does it look like the person? Da 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 da. And you start worrying about those things. And when you start worrying about that and you're not really having fun anymore, that becomes an issue. I'm adding a little bit more of a highlight right here to the top of his head. The good thing, this has water in it, so that will definitely help me out. And then this whole highlight kind of goes up into the eye region. For some reason, it goes way up in there. Now, you can do little tweaks though. I mean, you can try to get things as close as you can, especially when you're doing commissions, because people are like really funny about their family members. But for the most part, I would tell you, like I was telling somebody before, don't take a commission if you're not comfortable with it. If you feel like you do not have the patience, or maybe you're just not in that part of your journey yet, I would definitely tell you no. Don't even do it to yourself. Don't, because it's gonna be nothing but heartache and pain. Heartache and pain. Da da da. All right. Let me go down here. He has a shadow in the eye. Not in the eye, but in the eyelid. And I kind of want to bring that down, 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 down. I'm just putting this little shadow in there because I have to go on top. Remember, acrylics work best. Acrylics work best when you do dark to light. So I'm still going to go back on top. I don't want to make it look like he got on like eyeshadow. I don't want him haunting me from the grave. Like, oh no. I know you ain't put eyeshadow on me. Okay, guys. So hopefully, I don't know what's going on. I got my phone on the charger. And I'm hoping it is charging. But for some reason, it's giving me like some warning signs. So if I happen to go kaput, I will be back. But hopefully not. Hopefully it'll hold out for the duration. All right, we still got some darkness. Let me put in his nostrils. However, the key also to realism is, looking at the little nuances of basically how somebody's face is. Paying attention to that. This kind of has the same value right there, so I'm going to actually add... It's actually dark under there. The good thing about it is that when you do things, you can always go back and Hello? Of course, we always got kitties in the background, chatting. Hello? Yesterday I kind of added this dark piece right here. I'm actually going to go back into it. Let me kind of, even though this is kind of dark. Could have just added that and kept it moving. I'm just reinforcing that shadow over there. That's the thing about acrylics. You always got to reinforce on a regular basis. You should be always reinforcing. I'm going to put another value here. Even though this is a lighter value, I'm going to have to add something to that. As you can see, it is a tedious process, peeps, but it can be quite rewarding, though. I'm going underneath to kind of round out that nose. Kind of pushing back that value because I feel like it's a little bit too similar. So I'm kind of pushing that back. And I think I'm actually going to take some of this value over here too. I don't think this is a little bit too... You gotta think about the shape of the head too. Actually, let's talk about his hairline for a minute. talk about the hairline for a minute. Let me spray my palette. We're getting dried up here. Not today, Betty. Not today. Anybody has the remote? Remote? Thank you. Okay, okay, so let's talk about the forehead for a minute. The forehead, I think his hairline is a little bit further back, so I'm kind of on the fence right now, trying to figure out whether I'm going to put his hairline back or not. Let me go in with this. The good thing about, like I said, good old acrylics, right? Is that you can actually okay, so I'm going back on that hairline. I don't think he has that much of a dip, like a widow's peak. Like I have a widow's peak, but I don't think he has that much of a widow's peak. I really don't. Okay, yeah, so we're getting a little better now. I'm feeling a little good. And I kind of pushed that value back because that widow's peak, I think I was thinking it was me. With a widow's peak. Okay, you said you're going to pop off and go have dinner. Again, I enjoyed it and I learned stuff. Yay! Gonna have to give ultramarine a try. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate whoever is on right now. And you hanging in there. I got one person hanging in there. Thank you. So this is gonna go. Again, you guys could always do this on the replay because it'll stay up for quite some time. So you can definitely do some replay activities. I'm going to do the same value over here because I feel like he doesn't have that much of a I think he was a little smaller in this picture too. So that was the thing with that. I think he was a little smaller in this picture. Alright, that's a little bit too dark. I'm gonna have to remove some of that. You ever get a value you really don't enjoy? You can always wipe it out with some water. That's if it didn't dry already though. So you definitely have to be careful with that, what things have actually dried or not. I'm adding some shadow over here because this side, his lip should be about dry about now. So I'm just going in with that. And I think his lips are a little bigger too. They seem a little bigger. Actually, gonna apply a little bit of that here. Apply it, I love it. Oh, you see shininess, because I forgot I'm using some of that gloss liquid. And that gloss liquid gets real shiny. Real shiny. Now, if you want to do like a glaze, because I know he has like a little indent at the bottom of his chin. There's a little indent at the bottom of his chin. So I'm just applying values where I see them. Might have to go in, let's see. So I'm just applying different values as I see them. So I'm doing things, so I'm doing it. And I think I need to add a little bit of rosy to the cheeks. And I'm still looking at my reference. Kind of adding things in as I feel like it needs to be added. And that's what you guys at home got to do too. You got to add things in as you see them. Now in the cheekbones, there's quite a bit of shadow area here. So this needs to be definitely filled in. Let me get into my darker value. Kind of mid-tone value, really. That's a little bit too dark. But it keeps feeling like that's appropriate for here, though. That's what I'm thinking. Because this whole thing is kind of in shadow. And I think his hairline is not far back enough. So I'm going to go back with this hairline a little bit. That hairline is not back enough. Matter of fact, let me add a little bit of lighter value to kind of get this out of the way. Let's see. Yeah, because he has something in here. It's like a dip. Dip it low. Sometimes you gotta just go for it. Go with it. Go for it. Why? Because scared money don't make no money. I'm just playing. Scared money don't make no money. Ooh. Alright, I didn't want to do that. See? I'm busy talking crap. And that's what happens. Alright. Let me stop playing around. Let me stop playing around. Do 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 do. Alright, I need to get a mid-tone probably. I hope you two don't try to kick me off for singing. Like, chicken head. That's it. You singing, you having a good time. That's not authorized. That's kind of how these skin tones go, you know? You got 3 different values. As your cheek kind of rotates within the shadows, you're going to have all of that jazz going on. Yeah? Now, Sunday, hopefully you guys will come on because Sunday afternoon I'm going to be showcasing a African American artist. Alright, I kind of washed up my brush and I'm going to blend. Taking everything and I'm going to blend it in. Blend, blend, blend. And because my brush is already wet, because why? It is a, what did I say it was? It is a water brush. I don't know what that is. I think I got some like weird. See, now I'm picking and I done got this what's the name going on. Alright, I ain't gonna worry about it right now. Yeah, since I have a water brush, I can kinda sorta now I can kinda blend these things together. I'm not really worried about it too much. But you gotta be careful with this water though. You really do. Because that water can undercut, it can underbind your paint. Oh. Sorry, my phone wanted to be extra. Alright, let me get into this darker thing because reinforcing that nose again, getting that bone structure together. Get it together. And then I will get into my other tone. Let me get this out of here because that's irritating me. I gotta fill that in before it drives me insane. There we go. That was really driving me crazy. I don't know what was going on with that. I don't even know how that happened. Okay. Lord have mercy, boy. My child is really going over the deep end. Okay. Alright, let me wipe this off. Kind of turning my brush on the side because his nostrils is kind of gonna flare up. And let me put my value back in. Sometimes you'll paint something out and you gotta think about painting it back in. Gotta think about putting things back in. That's too dark. So let me go up a value. Some regular yellow ochre. Some yellow. Okay, I kind of highlighted that. Let me put some more Some unbleached titanium in there. Right now, he looks like a science project. His nose is kind of like all over the place. Yes, yes, and yes. But we're going to get it together. Watch it till the end. If you guys are not able to flow through. If you guys like this sort of content, give me a like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you're interested in doing learning oil painting techniques, as well as getting free gifts sent straight to your house, plus 20% off on my website, custom paintings, things like that, definitely hit me up on Patreon. It's a great way to support this channel, as well as getting some dope art. Hey guys. Oh, Lord. My baby's in the building. What's going on? What you doing? You trolling the comments? Who in the comments? Who in the comments? How's it looking over there? Tot? How's it looking? Hmm? Okay, so we got that going. See, I told you guys that the nose takes like the longest time ever. What happened to Tati? I don't know. We don't know what happened to her. Alright, it is a weird thing over here. I think I'm gonna have to put some yellow in it. I'm gonna have to put some yellow, old yellow. Oh my god. Somebody watching something real funny on TV. I wish I could tell you guys the joke. Being real precise with the nostrils here. Trying not to. At the same time, kind of mixing and matching at the same time. So, you know what? I think this actually needs to go up a little bit. Because when I'm looking at it in the camera, I kind of made his forehead a little bit longer than I wanted to. So let me go up some. Take it up a notch. Alright, and then of course you have to add kind of like a sort of a transition as the nose rotates into the glory of the sun. So we have got to add a transition. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
Are you finished?
Nope.
I finished?
Nope.
Not yet? Why? Why are you not finished?
Julius, come. We'll take you on the top of the stairs.
Kind of like brushing on some of this because there's like a white, like a little highlight. It's not like a white. I don't know why I'm saying that. And that's just pure, what's the name? And my nose. Alright. It's looking good so far. What do you guys think? Chime on in the comments. Let me know, let me know. I gotta work on his eyes some too. Because that nose irritated me a little bit. I'm not even going front. That kind of got my goat a little bit. It did. It irritated me. Let's do something even more fun. Like hallelujah. Hallelujah. And let's get, because I don't think this is supposed to be, I know it's supposed to be, okay, let me get some, oh, I want to put a little bit of highlight above his lip. You gotta think about all these little nuances to the portraiture. All these little nuances to the portraiture. I'm adding a little bit of lightness here also. It seems like it has some light and bright going up here. So you're definitely gonna have some of that going on. So that's looking pretty good on the camera, peeps. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm like digging my hand in paint at the same time, which is wonderful, isn't it? Alrighty then, I'm washing off my brush, washing it off, getting this lab together. I'm gonna have to redo his, what am I redoing? Oh, I need to redo his mustache, but I think I'm gonna switch out my brush for that. Because I don't know if this is quite fine enough. So I'm getting my other little teeny tiny brush. A little teeny tiny. As well as some glazing liquid. And what do I want to do? I want to fix his mustache. Okay, the mustache, it kind of goes up this way. I'm just doing like dabbing motions pretty much. Which is my dark shadow mixture that I mixed up earlier. Just in case you guys are wondering. And taking my little brush. I think this is gonna kind of go over the side here. Alright, now let's fix his eyes. I don't know what happened to my other reference photo. I took some water. I don't like the way that looks. I'm taking that out. And I don't really want to use this one. Now in this one, he is, it seems like he was a little bit plumper. He's a little more plumper in this one. In this particular photo versus the one that I have here. He is not. He is quite thin in this one. So I don't really want to use. So you have to worry about that too. If you pick a particular reference, you need to stick to that. Okay, let's see. Now I'm gonna try to get into the real nuances of his face. I got my little teeny tiny brush. Boop, 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 boop. Put a little bit of shadow. It's like a reddish color inside of there, though. Now that I think about it, it's more like a reddish color. That's inside of here. It's really a reddish color. Now you really got to be careful when you're dealing with, I actually think I want this to go further in. That's what I think. You got to be careful with these little teeny tiny brushes because these things will definitely mess up very easily. They're very sensitive. So you got to be try to be careful with that when you're dealing with it. And now that I think about it, this whole area right here has, let me put this in here, has pretty much a highlight. It's on the high life. So I think I want to add, because right here has a little bit of highlight. So I need to add some more of a highlight right there. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like, because he has a lot of a highlight right here, and I don't know why, but he does. Right above. That's a little bit too much yellow for me, so now she's gonna go in. Why am I not panicking? Because I'm gonna be able to fix it. Most people panic during these type of things. They're like, oh my God, I added too much. It's too much going on. It's too much. But I don't freak out with these sorts of things. Right up here seems to have a lot of, what's in it? So now, before this dries, I just want to highlight those particular areas. I'm going to actually add some acrylic glazing liquid. Before this dries up on my life. Oh, I got to spray my white too before that goes crazy. Spray it, spray it, spray it, guys. Spray it. Say it, don't spray it. But in this case, now with glazing liquid, it doesn't matter how much glazing liquid you put in. That will actually go a long way. Now I'm going to go right around here with this glazing liquid and kind of blend this in without too much of a headache. You get what I'm saying? And basically leave it in those isolated areas. Pretty much. Like I said, it seems to be a little bit too much yellow. I don't like all that. Now, if you enjoy a lot of yellows and gold and stuff like that, because in this picture, he's actually supposed to be out like in the sun or da 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 da. That's what he's supposed to be. And instead of me adding white to that, I'm actually going to add. Yeah, he looks like E.T., huh? Instead of me adding white to that, I'm going to actually add this. Unbleached titanium. That's what I'm adding. And the more layers you add, the better off you'll be. That's the great thing about it. And this is a blender brush, right? So let it do its job. I'm just scrubbing. Scrub-a-dub-dub in the tub. And let me see. He has quite a bit of a highlight here. Okay, so it's looking pretty good so far. Still just working out those nuances. Work it out. He has a lot going on in the head region. Let me see. Da, da, da. All right, let me work on the eyes because oh, I see what it is. I'm like, what is wrong? What is off? Something's off. I see what it is. I actually got to go in and I'm gonna go in and put this part of his head down. All right, so I got that. Sometimes, you know, a good tip also is I'm kind of doing his lip here. A good tip also when you feel like you're getting tired or things are kind of looking the same, things like that, right? When you start feeling like that, you can also look in the mirror. Take your painting. Take your painting. Painting. And you can either take a picture of it with a cell phone, because the cell phone will give you an accurate look instead of you constantly looking at it yourself, or you ask a family member, a friend. Or you could actually take it and put it up to the mirror and see, like, okay, that will also give you a different view of it. I'm kind of fixing his lips because the lips, look totally his lip was looking weird. So I'm kind of trying to fix his lip. Yeah, so whenever you're feeling like you're getting stuck or things are starting to look the same, you can always go into a mirror and look at it and then say, oh, hey, yeah, that does look weird, da da da, because you may not be able to decipher between that, with the regular, what's the name? Looking at it with the human eye, you may not be able to decipher between that. So that's something to think about. That is definitely something to think about. Do. Oh, I don't know why I put that down there. I'm gonna try to find my way, because I know he has hair, right? Now, do I want to use this or not? Do I want it or not? Now, I'm going to use a regular bristle brush, if you guys can see it. Okay. It is a regular bristle brush. It is, they have like these little weird, you hear it? Like, it's like cheapy. It's like a broom. It's like a broom, but in a brush form. You know how the broom has like those weird, sharp bristles? That's what you want. That's kind of what I use for hair, but I also use it for trees and bushes and all that other stuff too. So, yeppa. Because I'm trying to figure out how to get his... Alright, now I'm going to load up my brush. You see I have some on the tip here. And I'm actually going to tap. And I'm going to do that in a tapping kind of motion. And I'm hoping, because this is supposed to actually go around his face and kind of downward and then upward. So he's supposed to kind of have like a beard, but it's like a, I don't even know what type of beard it is. It's like a weird beard. I don't know. It's like a weird beard. But it makes sense a little bit. In the camera, it makes sense. So he kind of have, now if I think about it, he has a little bit of hair over here too. So I'm going to kind of tap a little bit in that right there. Tap a little bit in. Tap it in. Alright, let me add a little bit of something on the side there, on the side of his face. Do, 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 do. You can always alter this as you see fit, you know, guys. There's no hard or fast rules about this. I'm kind of using the same brush. And again, if you put a value in you don't like, just go ahead and get it out of there. Wipe it out. You can wipe it out while it's wet, or you can wait for it to totally dry, and then you can go in and I don't know what is going on with this here. Let me put something here.
Al, look at my pocketbook and pull my cigarette down.
I'm gonna have to kind of push. Sorry, I think we had some buffering, guys. We had some issues. That wasn't me on my end. That was must have been YouTube. Sorry, guys. It wasn't me. Anybody hear that song? It wasn't me. I'm actually gonna have to go in and let me see. I'm gonna have to go It actually has a quite of a larger nose. Let me go back in, because I'm looking at this at a different angle at this point. There we go. I had to bring that out a little bit because let me You have a lot of light underneath here that goes, oh, that's right about here.
I'm coming upstairs. Yeah.
And I'm going to take a little bit of this under here. I'm just following my reference photo, guys. And I gotta fix that. Yes, boo.
Are you finished?
No, I'm not finished yet. Then,
I thought you was finished.
you did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery, isn't it? I'm gonna put this little highlight on the lip here. And then I need to put some, I think I gotta add some more. The portraits really come out when you do the eyes and the nose and stuff like that. That's when the portraits really come out. Is when you get all of that stuff done, because that's the identifying features and traits of the sitter, the person that you're actually dealing with. Yeah? The identifying traits of a person, so the joys of motherhood, I tell you. The joys of motherhood. Yeah, that's the nuances of portraiture, is when you get into the details. The details is what makes the person who they are. Alright, I actually got into some white. And this white, as you can see, is really opaque. And actually made his lips a little bigger too. If I had too much white, I can always go back. Go back in. If I got too much white going on. I can always go back in. And white is actually a good way to kind of highlight your lip. White. But you have to go over that white because it'll wash it out. Totally. Totally. And let me get my pink. The pink is supposed to be in his lip. This is actually, you could actually use alizarin crimson in here also, if you really wanted to. You can use a little alizarin crimson. It's actually in shadow. This right here. You can't really tell whether that is hair or what that is. I don't know what that is. I can't really tell. That's the thing about that. You can't tell. So I wouldn't be able to tell you guys whether that was in shadow or what. I actually need... So it's true, you can't really use reference photo for everything. It's a little bit too late. You can't use reference photos for everything. It's really, well, the experts, you know, people, other people in the artist bougie community recommend that you kind of sort of use a reference. I mean, that you work from life. That's what they say. You should actually be working for life, from life. That's kind of what they tell you. That you should be working from life. Okay? And if you guys don't know what I mean about working from life, I mean, I need to put another value over there. What do I mean? When I'm saying working for life, I mean, like, you know, you see them things on TV. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. You're working from life. You know, you get your, you can take your own references. You get somebody to pose for a picture, and you work from life. That's working from life, pretty much. That's what that is considered to be. That's what working from life means. You have things in real life that you can actually utilize and take pictures of. That's what working from life is. Yeah? What do you guys think? So it's coming along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. It's looking pretty good. It's looking damn near close at this point. Now the more layers you put and the more hours you put into it, the more work you will get out of it, right? So let's look at it in the camera. What is it looking like? Guess I gotta put it up. Okay, let me put it up because I'm getting too much of a glare. So yeah, that's looking pretty close, guys. Pretty close. Pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on here because I think I'm going in the right direction. I feel like I'm going in the right direction. And I haven't even worked on his eyes, so I think once I really work on his eyes, then we will really be in business here. In the meantime and in between time, I'm going to let him... did we freeze up? Oh, no. Okay. I forgot we had a delay. I'm going to get my other brush. And I'm actually going to take out some paint. Matter of fact, I got to go to the potty, actually. You know, you guys, I have a baby bladder. Okay? Meaning I've had too many babies. So I always have to go to the bathroom. I always have to pee. P in the party. So I'm putting out some black because I want to kind of get onto the perimeter here. And I'm going to actually finish this up tonight, so I'm not going to be playing around too much. But I am going to go to the bathroom, so you guys can hold on. Get some coffee. This is a good time to take a break. Get some coffee, get some tea. Call your friends. And I will be back after these messages. Oh, Lord. Okay, guys. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, guys, and I'm back. Woo! Thank you so much for waiting around. Yeah, buddy. I had to go to the party. I got some chocolate. Chocolate. And on my channel, you're going to find family, fun, chocolate. Lots of activities. And we've been on a while. Let me see. How long have we been on? Anybody keeping score? I think we've been on... I don't know. It doesn't say. Alright. So, let me spray. Spray my black paint. I'm going to get my 3/8 angle brush. Get that wet. And I'm going to start on my perimeter. I'm using straight up black out of the tube. Mars black to be exact. Mars black to be exact. A little bit of glazing liquid. The good stuff. A little bit of glazing juice. With a hint of burnt sienna. A hint of it hint of it. Hmm. And I chose black because usually black shows up real flat. And I'm just taking it around in a in most cases I don't want like something really dark and black and matte, but in this case I do want it because this is going to give me the illusion. I don't know what happened to my drawings over here. I had drawings over here. So I'm going to just paint the whole thing because remember what we said that... Let me go around here. I do see a drawing here. Let me dust that out before it gets bad. Remember what we said about acrylics is you can go dark over light. I mean light over dark. I just took some glazing liquid and I kind of blended that out. Made that edge a little bit softer. I hope you guys know I'm an absolute mess, okay? So I hope you guys are prepared. I'll be going to the party. Like... And you guys are super awesome that you hang in there. I got my one viewer, which is so awesome for me. Now I love this angle brush. Why? Because it has a precision tip. So I can go around and do whatever I please with this. So I'm just going to keep going with it, taking a little black around. If you guys don't know, I'm known for doing these frames. I like faux frames. I like old school frames from back in the day, the 1800s, the Victorian era. Really, that's my thing, the Victorian era. That is definitely my thing, the Victorian era. I'm kind of giving him a break to kind of rest up. Taking it around in a circular motion. Kind of just going. Did anybody actually pick up the the oval And look at that. I think frames are so classy, classic. They basically encase the person, make them look really classic. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. Excuse me. Now remember what I said in this you can actually go over a dark color. You can actually go over that color. Thank God I have a glazing liquid with a light color. And that's really pretty. Kind of getting the sides too. Why not, right? But I want to get my glazing liquid though. If you're working on, I don't never use the blow dryer, but if you're working on something and you feel like you want to get it done right away, I would suggest you use the blow dryer. But certain canvases, they kind of suck up all the paint. So I don't even think you need to worry about that for real. For real. I really don't think you need to worry about that. Like this canvas sucks up all the paint. So before you know it, it's drying. I mean, now that I have the glazing liquid on there, it might dry. It might not, it might not dry so quick. So I'm not going to do the other side. I'm going to wait till that dries before I actually do the other side. And I don't have my blow dryer over here, and I don't feel like blow drying, so I guess I have to wait. Good things come to those who wait, right? So waiting it is. Waiting it is. Yeah, because that's still wet right there. That's still wet. Do, 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 do. That's the beauty of glazing liquid. Gives you time to work. I'm really enjoying doing this portrait with you guys, though. I'm like loving it. Yesterday was not really like a fun day for me, but today I'm all for it today. I'm all for the shenanigans today. Yes, darling, yes. I'm all for it. And let me tell you, this is how long things take. If you're thinking about being a full-time artist, like, this is how long things take. Like, you're not gonna get it overnight. You know, you're not gonna just be like, any artist that's worth this, you know, that's worthwhile, spends lots of time thinking about composition, doing research on different subjects, spending days and weeks at a time kind of figuring that out, and saying to themselves, okay, is this where I want to be in life? Is this what is for me? Is it or is it not? So you got to think about that. Being an artist is not for everybody. Or, I mean, you could be just, somebody that likes to do it for fun, which is totally different. And that is totally okay, too. But if you're just doing it for fun, you know, then that is always a good thing, too. I'm kind of digging this black, kind of digging this black frame now. I might just leave it like this. What do you guys think? I'm kind of digging it. Kind of, sort of. That's not my initial design, but I'm kind of feeling it though. For real. It got a little bit of overbearing right there. And that is not what I intended to do. That's not what I wanted to do. Not at all. Okay, so that's still kind of wet, wet, wet. So, now you can either, if you have something like this where your edges are not as clean, things are not looking as good, you could also go in and clean it up by either adding back some more of the sky or clean it up quickly before it dries. It's a multitude of things you guys could be doing. Oh. Okay, I still have some blue on my thing. So let me go in. I'm just going to put that value back. How about that? Well, that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to go ahead and pop that value back in there. A little bit of ultramarine and white. And good to go. Seeing that ultramarine and white, kind of pop that value right back in there. Kind of pop that value. He's supposed to have a little indent in his head anyway, so that's a good thing. I like to be precise when I do things, so... That black wants to do something else altogether. So that looks pretty good. Alright, now. Now that I got that done, I gotta wait for that to dry, so... Because this is still pretty wet. So I'm gonna put some... This part over here is pretty dry though. But, Get my little round brush, you know, my little filbert. I should have changed my water by now. And that's another good tip, guys. Make sure you change your water in between. Because I should have been changed my water. Let me get some, some regular burnt sienna. I'm going to kind of brush a little bit of that burnt sienna on there. Just to give things some color. And really, I need to be putting... I'm just testing this out to see exactly how it's going to look. Because I wanted to put the gold on top of this frame thing. But even though I'm putting the gold, you got to put a little yellow underneath. And you got to have some layers because you see how black makes everything look flat. So you definitely have to have some layers. My paint is hanging on, which is good. I mean, I should put some yellow. So I would just, you put like a yellow ochre, a little bit of white. Put that on first. Cause you kind of gotta give the gold something to hang on to. My black is still pretty wet. Fun fact. If you put yellow, more anything, yellow, ochre, cadmium yellow, and black together, it'll turn green. So, just a fun little fact. As you can see, I'm only putting the yellow like in the middle of the frame. Because I still want some of that black to kind of show, and it's still kind of tacky, so meaning wet. But I'm still kind of following the curve of the frame and the yellow. How are we liking it? I don't know. The good thing about it is if I don't like something, I can always paint over it. You can always paint over it. I'll put like a brighter yellow. This is the Naples. Since the black is still wet and it's just going to blend in. So I'll put something a little brighter. That's how you get these faux. You know, the devil's in the details. That's a true word that you ain't never hear, yeah? Why is the devil in the details? Because it's important. Kind of be detail oriented somewhat, yeah? And details is what bring out your personality as well as the sitter's personality. So I'm just going to keep going over this and let it dry. Let it do its thing. And I'm even going to add a little bit of this. To my suit. Because he does have on a suit. Sound like my son. My son always says, oh, uh-oh, my little fuzzy piece came off. My little fuzzy piece came off my microphone. Alright, hold on, guys. Let me look for my little fuzzy piece. Look for the fuzz. Yeah, so my son always says, sorry if this is sounding weird. I hope not. So my son always says, oh, wait a minute. I was looking for my microphone and lost my train of thought. I don't even know what the hell I was even talking about just now. So, as you can see, we made quite a bit of quite a bit of progress. I need to go back a little further. Let me just add right there. Just add a little yellow ochre and a little bit of white. Not even white. And then you can add white. I mean, quite a big progress with his nose. Don't know if I want to add white at this point. Usually, white, especially for African American skin tones, is usually right at the end. The very end is when you add your white in. And you do all that jazz. And even, you shouldn't be adding straight up white. You should have some sort of color in there. Because that white can be real crazy overwhelming. I'm eating fudge rounds. You guys know about fudge rounds? I love fudge rounds. They're like absolutely delicious. I don't recommend you guys eat and paint at the same time. But hey, what can you do? So, I'm going to put a little bit, here's a little bit of a highlight right here. See how bright that white is? See how bright that white is? That's why you don't add white all over your painting, especially for African American skin tone. Because look at that. Look how bright that is. You don't add it because it can make your skin tone look milky, washed out. Versus the unbleached titanium, that doesn't happen. And I'm going to leave that little white piece there to kind of marinate. But from a distance, right, it looks like he has a highlight on his nose. And that's usually what people are going to be doing. They're going to be looking at this from a distance. They're not going to be looking at this from another type of angle that you're thinking about. They're going to be looking at this from a distance. I'm actually going to work on my cloud a little bit. I got all my brushes in the water. I don't recommend you guys do that either. So don't pay me no attention. Because that's how the glue separates your stuff. Now I'm going to get straight up probably white. And I'm actually dabbing a little bit of white and with a little bit of unbleached also. What? You can see me as I dab on the side. As I dab, I'm actually going to dab it. That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing any, like, detailed clouds. Like, if you guys want to do, like, a detailed type of cloud, you can. But I'm putting, like, a little bit of fluff. Just reinforcing that little cloud up there. I'm going to put this one back in. That was kind of... And I'm just doing a dab. And I'm not doing any realistic clouds. That's for a whole nother tutorial. I just want to get, like, you know, I just want to talk about it a little bit to make it feel like it's something going on. You feel what I'm saying? In the background, but I don't want to, like, have a thing. Like, I don't want it to be a thing. I don't want it to be like, oh my God, you need to have detailed, over-the-top clouds. That's not really my thing. And I'm going to add a little bit of white. Now, this is just straight up white. Straight up white. You don't want to add too much white because I can get real overwhelming real quick. Yeah, clouds will just be looking crazy. Now, when you add white to something, you actually bring those things forward. And that's what you got to think about when you are... when you add white to something, you actually bringing white. White brings things forward. It brings things more visible to the viewer, and you're looking at things. You're like, oh my God, Why are your clouds so bright? And then all you're looking at is clouds. And nobody wants that. Yeah? Alright, so let me work on his eyes just a little bit. And then I'm going to sign off, you guys. Because this has been a pretty long tutorial. And I think I've got you guys probably majority of the way through the tutorial where you can, if you watch part 1 and if you watch part 2 after the video is over, I'll link it up in the iCard. If you watch part 1 and you watch part 2, this has pretty much guided you guys through the beginning process of how to do a portrait painting with acrylics. It is pretty detailed, pretty long, and you can save this in your playlist. Refer back to it, fast forward, take notes. I would advise you to take notes. Like when I used to watch videos, you know, trying to learn and stuff like that, I would definitely, I'm a note taker anyway. That's just how I'm built. So I would definitely take notes. And ooh, I still have yellow on my thing, but you know what? That might work. No, I don't think that's gonna work. Anyway, I want to reinforce his hair while I'm talking to you guys. I would advise you guys to take notes, you know? Take notes, take screenshots, look at the materials that I'm using. All of those things, especially if you really want to get good with doing portraits in acrylics. Doing portraits, period. And I'm going to actually, I'm getting some straight up black out of the tube. Why? Because if you look on the side of his face, right? And I'm going to get my hand in the paint because it's still wet. And this is, I'm going back to my bristle brush because I'm doing the hair. And I'm going to tap. I'm actually going to tap in some darker elements here. That's how you get African American hair. It's basically the tapping motion, but you still want to follow the hairline. That gives you that kink, yeah? And see, even with that, because I put the dark black on this side, because the rest of the hair is kind of like a brown. Because I did that, it actually pushed that value back to the side. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. So, when I was learning, when I was doing all of that stuff, I pretty much took notes. I took notes. I did all of that stuff. I really took my time and, you know, honed my craft. I studied color theory. Color theory was the breakthrough for me. And I studied a lot of different subjects. Not just portraiture, but, you know, how to do like still lives and flowers. Flowers are my jam too. You guys, I haven't even got into the flowers section. It's going to be absolutely insane once I really get into the flowers. But I haven't even gotten to the flowers yet. Like, that's going to blow your mind when I really get into the flowers of the whole section of that. That's going to be absolutely insane. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys kind of stay tuned to that. And you're going to see all types of things. Like, I got a whole thing that I want to come up with. I'm not going to tell you guys about it now, but I have some ideas. I have lots of ideas and lots of things I want to show you guys. Help you guys out, you know. I feel like as an artist going into this, like, oh, you know, I want to pay it forward. Because for me, it was kind of hard to kind of find information, resources, and materials about African American skin tones. That was quite difficult for me. I had such a hard time even locating that type of information. So, I said if I ever do a YouTube channel, I'm gonna make sure that I provide that resource because I noticed that there was a gap out there. There was an opening in the market where that sort of content was not available. It just wasn't. I mean, most artists, if you are wonderful, if you are about your business, if you are well versed in color theory, you should know how to do all skin tones. Like I know how to do Caucasian skin tones, Asian skin tones, you know, orange skin tones. If you know what I mean, I know how to do all sorts of skin tones. Why? Because I'm pretty decent in color theory. And I've also studied, portraiture and mixing colors. And I really spend a lot of time mixing colors. How do colors change? What's the difference of the different colors? Da 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 da. Right? So, most artists, if you are at a certain point in your career, you should be able to do any type of skin tone. And I have, encountered a lot of artists on YouTube that do know how to do African American skin tones. I'm not saying people don't, but is it something that they focus on? No. People usually focus on their point of reference. If you are Caucasian, you're going to focus more on Caucasian portraiture. If you are Asian, you're going to focus more on Caucasian and Asian portraiture. If you're Latino, you're going to focus more on that. So everybody focuses pretty much on their perspective of how things should look and how things look and pretty much how things look in their world, what they're surrounded by. You know, um, so it's few and far between trying to find tutorials like this for African American portraiture. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying? Hey guys, so if you're just tuning in, you guys are coming in on the tail end of this thing. We are almost finished up. I'm gonna do a little bit of touch up on his eyes. I'm waiting for the frame to dry, and then I'm gonna add my gold detail and things like that. I was just giving you guys a little chat. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Also, write some things down in the comments to me. Let me know where you're hailing in from, what type of content you would like to see from me going forward. What type of African American influencer and or dead or alive you would like to see showcased during my Black History series for the next month. Every week I will be showcasing a new African American artist. Now, so yeah, I felt like I needed um so I kind of felt like I needed to kind of showcase my world. What I see as beauty, what I kind of see as important and stuff like that. I really felt like it was, crucial. Getting kind of a glare because I have that glazing gloss liquid on. And the glazing gloss liquid is giving it a shine like oil, but it's not oil. It's just glossy. It's glossy. It's flossy. Right? Okay, so that's enough of that, right? But you can actually get some satin glazing gloss liquid. I mean, it's not gloss, sorry. You can get satin acrylic glazing liquid. That's what it's called. Which will not give you that shine. But once you varnish it, all those little shiny areas will pretty much equal out. Right, guys? Right, guys? Alrighty then. Alright, so let me do a little bit of touch up on his eyes while this frame dries. And then we're going to end this live. And I'm going to be posting pictures tomorrow. Up on my Instagram, all my social media, and all my contact information is in the description box, as well as all the products used in this video. So you guys can definitely check that out, and you can hit me up on Instagram. Hit a gal up on Instagram. Let me know how you feel. Especially tag me if you guys decide to do this tutorial. I would love to see your work. And if you do pretty well, I will also put you in my Instagram stories. Yay! Instagram stories, right? So, yeah, let's focus on his eyeballs because his eyeballs is looking weird. Let's get these eyeballs downward because I need that to go downward a little more. That's what I need in my life. So I'm just getting some regular, like a dark value, and I'm gonna kind of put it here. Hot damn. Hot damn. Isn't that like a, that's like a song, huh? I could swear it's like a song. I don't know what be going on with acrylics. They be looking washed out, boy. The acrylic gang. Okay, I'm just putting some dark underneath his eyes. It's not going to look like this. Because remember what I was saying before. You know, dark and then... You put the dark down and then you can go in. And I'm still referring to the reference photo at the same time. Alright, so now this lower bag, it's like a bag. I don't know how to even explain it. It's like a lower lid, right? A lower lid that is going to have that's going to kind of sort of be lighter than the rest of that's going to be lighter. And you see how you get that with the lower lid. You know, that's going to be a lighter value. So you just put a little bit of a light over the dark, which means that the light is not going to show up as much. You get what I'm saying? I'm kind of going in this inner lid. Because eyes usually have like an inner lid also. So you got to be mindful of that, the inner lid. Because you have an inner lid, an outer lid. And And I think I'm going to put the white right over here. And I don't even need that much white. Put a little bit of white right here. A little bit of white. Gonna highlight that eyelid / brow bone. I don't want a lot. I just want a little bit of white. That's it. Same thing here. I'm just put a little bit. Little bitty bitty bit. Like I'm barely doing anything with it. And you have a little bit of little glimmers of light. You see how that makes a world of difference. Those little glimmers of light. It just does. All right. Here's a little bit of red here in the corner, and like you do, huh? You always have a little bit of red right here. See that? A little bit of red right there in that corner. You have a little bit of red. I'm actually putting a little bit of darkness right here. So I'm just putting things in as I see them. Putting things in as I see them. I'm going to like a little bit of gray, like a bluish gray. I already have it in my palette, so it's easier to do. And you have these little tiny, teeny brushes. You gotta be careful with that too. Remember, eyes are not white, so you have to think about that. Since eyes are not white, you want to add like a gray. You want to add like different skin tone. You definitely want to think about adding different values to your eyes. You definitely want to think about that. Because like I said, eyes are not white. So you want to add grays and things of that nature. Like what I added wasn't straight up whatever. It was what I had added to the eyeball. It wasn't straight up white. That was an actual, like a gray. And I'm looking at his eyes. And that You also got to think about the shape of the eye, because sometimes yeah, you got to think about the shape of the eye, because everybody, all eyeballs are not created equal. Think about that, right? So I just changed the orientation of his eyeball, and it was that easy, right? So, but when I think of the reference picture, the reference picture actually shows that he has like oval shaped eyes and da 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 da. So I'm gonna try to incorporate the fact that he has oval shaped eyes. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the same time, and this is a gray I just mixed up. And right up under that eyeball, right up under the eyeball here. Right up under that eyeball. While I grab a little bit of my chocolate. I'm so happy you guys can hang out with me. Oh, you know what? And bring that eye down. Look at that. Why? Because I don't like that eyeball. It irritates me. Don't like that eyeball. Now the heat wants to come on. Alrighty then. Oh, that's looking better. See, just tweak the eyes. Tweak them. I'm just getting the general shapes and blocking them in. I'm not using black. Eyeballs are not black, except maybe the pupil. You could use like a straight up, you know, black or whatever, but that's not something I would recommend if you're doing, you know. I definitely not recommend that. I would not recommend that. And I'm actually gonna go up that way. Yep. Yep. Up. And bring his lip down that way. And I'm actually going to put something a little bit lighter in the rim of his eye. Because you know we have like rims and brims of the eye. So we got to think about that. How does the rim and the brim look? Who knows? So he looking at y'all. Trying to tell y'all, do the right thing, boy. Get your lives together. I'm going right up in that brim, in the brim of the eye. Because as you know, we have a lid right inside here, right? And my brush is starting to drag. My brush is being a drag. You can't have that going on. No siree. I still gotta fiddle around with his nose though. Go right around in a circle. Remember the pupil of the eye. Now the pupil of the eye, you can use a straight straight up black, because that's usually like a black hole. You can't even see through that. Nobody knows what's in there. Well, I know what's in there, but you know, most people don't know what's in there. Your retina, your nerves, all that jazz is in there. You know what I'm saying? So since those things are in there, right? See, pupils make people look more human when you have pupils. Okay, so that you could just use straight up black. And I need to work on his eyebrows. You got eyebrows? With my eyebrow pencil. Um, wouldn't that be cute? Oh, Martin Luther King, we love you. Wouldn't that be cute if you had hazel eyes? I could make your eyes hazel, but I'm not gonna do that. That's too much going on. I would go to hell for doing that. Alright, so let's get some of this. I'm just going in a stroking motion just to give me the illusion of, and I've kind of got like a burnt umber solution on my, why do I have so much, what's the name on here? I don't even know. It's good if you have like a little brush for this, because these things, his eyebrows looking, they was a little bushy. It was a little bush. Bush, bush, bush. Ooh. See what happens when you're too eager. Again, I'm just going in a sweeping motion here. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to get dark with it. Yeah? And look, I got it all over my hands, so that's fun. All right, now, since we've dried up a little bit, what I would say for eyes, you want to keep layering, right? Keep layering with your grays, your muted down colors for your eyes. You can make the eyes any color you want to make it, you know. And you got to think about the shades, like, you know, there's different shades, like, you know, shadows, I mean. You got to think about your shadows and your lights. You know, your lights need to be light enough. Your shadows need to be dark enough. So you pay attention to your reference photo if you're using a reference photo. Now, if you are just stylizing it, or you're doing a Martian woman or whatever it is, then go for it. Go for it. You know, do what you see fit to do. That's what I would say about the whole situation. Is do however you see you need to do it. But you know, practice also. You know, practice makes a big difference when it comes to painting, portraiture, and all that jazz. All that jazz. Just thinking about it, like now I'm like trying to figure. I'm just feeling in his ear, fiddling around with that, cause he did have some parts. Just fiddling with the ear, that's it. Put my highlights on. The highlight of my life. I added a little, it's okay if these things have been highlighted because I'm going to go back in and add some color. Same thing here. Same thing here. This has a little bit of lightness to it. Bring in the light. Here's a big highlight there, so I'm highlighting that. Now is when I'm getting into the little nuances. Here's when I'm getting into the little nuances of portraiture. Don't worry about that little white piece, because you're going to have to go back in anyway. Alizarin Crimson would have really worked well with the lips. I love to use Alizarin Crimson with lips. It works pretty good. Pretty good. All right, now I'm going to test out this gold, and then I'm going to end this live. Let me put out a little bit of gold. And hopefully you guys have gotten some invaluable information. Excuse me. I always feel like, sorry guys, if you're part of my channel and you subscribe, you are pretty much part of the family, so I can eat and talk with you at the same time. What am I going to say about this? I'm going to say something. Man, I'm getting tired. I'm losing my train of thought. I actually need to bring that over some more. But I'm going to work on last little minute details later. And I'll post it up tomorrow. So if you're on my Instagram, you'll see it. I lost my... Alright, so I'm spreading some strictly gold over here. Ooh, ah. Oh my god, y'all. This is so pretty. I love me some gold detail on here. Look at that. That is so beautiful. It's so bright. You could even see it. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. I knew that was going to be pretty. I knew it. It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. But you got to let it dry. Make sure you let it, your undercoats, dry before you put this on. And be vigilant of what it is you're putting on here. What you're putting underneath as your, base coat, because if you see it, it's pretty transparent, even though it's really pretty gold, right? If I spread it over here, you're gonna see it's not gonna give me much coverage over that pure white whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want, like, I just wanted like an accent of gold, but even that is like absolutely gorgeous. You know? It's just so pretty. So pretty. I might have to push some of that value back. Kind of glaze some, because this gold is so strong. You know, I'm surprised because I never expected this type of gold from Liquitex. Like, I've seen it in other companies, you know, professional companies. I mean, they're a professional company, but, you know, I didn't. I never expected them to have this sort of beauty. So now I'm just brushing it on. Willy-nilly. Why? Because I'm going to have to go back and, now this stuff dries real quick, so be careful. Look at it. Look how it pops. It's like crazy. Crazy insanity. It looks like a real kind of like a real frame. Even the real frames that I buy kind of like have that gold. And what's funny is I don't even like gold like that. I don't wear gold. I don't, you know. I think gold is very gorgeous, but it's not something I'm into. It's my thing. That gold is insanity. Look at that. That is bananas how that gold looks. It is gorgeous, okay? Gorgeous. But you can get like kind of crazy with that gold. So I would definitely recommend that you guys be really careful with this gold. Look how it looks. And Martin Luther King, he is definitely looking good. It's a good commemoration. I agree. I mean, I think it is a good commemoration. What do you guys think? Yeah? I'm loving it. I'm going to work on his eyes some more, and I'm going to post everything up on Instagram. Oh my God, guys. We have made it to the end. Make sure you comment below. Tell me how you felt about this live tutorial. If you're feeling the long live tutorials, or should I just do short time lapses of this type of tutorial for you guys, and instead of like a whole thing? And I could think about also posting those type of things as well. But, and in the meantime and in between time, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you hanging in there with me, especially my one viewer. My one viewer that has been hanging in there with me throughout the whole process. Well, I think it's been the same person throughout the whole process. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you love each other, help your neighbor, and stay creative, guys. I will catch you guys